So, but that's going to be something interesting to see how, with No Rest for the Wicked, how it evolves. They've already put out a roadmap. The number one question that I get, like I think on every video, is, "Hey, when do we know, or when would this be coming to consoles?" Because that will instigate that it's out of early access and it's ready to
Yeah.
release. But they also have said that they're going to be working on this 5-10 years after the 1.0 release, and that 1.0 will be their Fellowship of the Ring, which
Okay.
it's interesting terminology because there is such a grandeur, such a love for Lord of the Rings. To
Okay.
start kind of set that kind of comparison, I think shows both a lot of confidence and what they've already delivered. I'm like, yeah, I think they're not, they're smiling on the inside, because it's like you're like, oh yeah, we've got this, and now it's just a function of time.
Yeah.
Chrono, what are you playing right now, man? Why don't you give everybody an introduction to you,
Mhm.
and let's keep going.
Well, yeah, sorry I'm late. Lately, I don't know. We just checked out the Fortnite Star Wars collab this morning, and that was fun. It's not as good as last year's, to be honest. Last year it felt like a bigger event. This year it just feels like here's some stuff you can buy, and that's the end of it.
Mhm.
Um, and then honestly, just still working on Tears of the Kingdom because that game is really long, and I get distracted.
It's a
Dude, I
good
feel
game.
you.
It's a good game.
I'm waiting for the Switch too. Like
Yeah.
I stated, like I was like, oh, and it's like, yeah, you could hack it to put it on your Steam Deck to get it at 60 frames a second, and I was like, there's a part of me that's just like, I think I'll wait. I'll wait on the Switch too. But that's a perfect kind of transition to kind of talk about what Mark, you made a video talking about Switch 2 rumors.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there any merit to that? Is there anything that we need to, like, hang our hats on, or because I feel like 2025, or is it that we've, yeah, at the summertime, former E3 time,
Yeah.
that Nintendo just comes out on stage and been like, Switch 2, it's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one rumor that I did kind of, give a I don't that's the one I don't see happening, but there's the other aspect of, like, Nintendo typically has a pretty good timeline for first party content throughout the year, and after Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, there's really nothing first party wise that is gonna be a big seller for him, so that does make me wonder, come June, when these publishers, hardware manufacturers do start to do these type of events, do we hear something then? Most of the leaks I found credible because they're pretty consistent stories we've heard for a while now, and they line up with sources like Digital Foundry verifying, like the Tegra T3239 system on a chip, you know, DLSS, machine learning acceleration. That makes sense if you think about this story that came out again that I thought was pretty credible as well from VGC almost 8-9 months ago too, with them doing a Breath of the Wild demo. Why would you show that? I mean, there could be all kinds of reasons, but I almost feel like they in the modern world of consoles where we do get enhanced versions of previous generation games, that right away made perfect sense to me, right? Especially if they were also doing the epic Matrix Awakens demo too. So
Mhm.
the biggest part that makes me happy is it does seem like we are going to get backwards compatibility, which y-
That is, go ahead, Chrono.
I would
yeah,
say
go
if
ahead.
they do not do back compat, I think we just have another like Wii U situation
Oh,
where people are like, "Why do I buy this? Like, why
yep.
am I investing in this at all?" But I think that's why Nintendo is playing it so close to the chest this time around, is because they don't want to confuse people by the time it launches. So they're trying to like get everything Switch out of the way. That's why
Yep.
Luigi's Mansion 2 is it for the year,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm not surprised that Nintendo is being very careful with how they follow up. Probably their best system, right? Like sales wise, it's trailing on the Wii by a little bit.
Where
It,
is my not Breath of the Wild? Where is my Wind Waker Switch port, guys?
Right.
that was yeah, that's been
That
rumored for a
On
while,
the
right?
Wii U. Like, in and of itself, like,
they need to
uh,
free all of these Wii U games up. Like they need to. I don't see why they haven't, but it's probably like, hey, when the Switch 2 launches, we'll put these HD ports out that everybody's been wanting. I don't know. I'm still waiting on F Zero to come back in some way, right?